Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Hopefully you guys have all had a chance to see Korra episode 2. It paid homage to a really big Last Airbender episode and had a really big reveal that made everyone fall out of their chairs at New York Comic Con. In case you missed it, the Korra panel was yesterday. I posted the whole video, so I will add a link to that in the description. It's about a half an hour long. I'll explain all the important stuff that Bryke said after my review. So careful for spoilers from the episode in case you haven't seen it yet. I'll wait just a sec. Okay, ready? Here we go. Top 5 moments. Number 5, Korra Alone. The title of the episode is homage to the Last Airbender episode Zuko Alone. That was Book 2, Episode 7. Both of these episodes are about not being able to run away from your identity. In that Last Airbender episode, Zuko just decides he's better off on his own and tries to pretend like he's not the Prince of the Fire Nation, like he tries to leave his past behind. Eventually something happens and he realizes he can't run from who he is. It's the exact same thing for Korra. She can't run from her identity as the Avatar. She just keeps hallucinating herself in the Avatar state. The vision literally chains itself to her. I love that they did explain why she was in that fighting ring from the scene that we saw at the end of episode 1. She basically went in feeling like she was going to face herself. She wasn't part of some underground MMA ring, like she hasn't been doing this for a long time. I do wonder if she would have stayed in that fighting ring had she won against herself. That's not really the point though. Her true self is always going to win out. For those wondering about Korra reconnecting with her past lives, the title of the episode says it all. Mike and Brian just really wanted Korra to be on her own in book 4. She can't turn inward for guidance or quick answers anymore. That doesn't mean she won't ever be able to reconnect with them, but at least for now, she's completely on her own. Number 4, the flashback. So we finally saw what that teaser clip came from right after the book 3 finale. And we got an awesome Katara scene. I love that Katara is still such a really important person in the Water Tribe. She's still like the best physical and spiritual doctor ever, so of course Korra's gonna go to her for healing. The big twist right now is that Bryke had always differentiated Korra from Aang, in that Korra was a gung-ho avatar. Like she always wanted to be the Avatar. Aang ran from it at first, so it took him like the entire Last Airbender series to come to terms with who he was. Like if you remember, Korra's first line when she was like a little kid was, "I'm the Avatar, you have to deal with it." Obviously that's changed now. Based on Katara's explanation, it just seems like Korra is suffering PTSD. She can fix the physical trauma to her body, but she won't be able to consciously enter the Avatar state until she fixes the emotional trauma. And for those asking, yes, I do think if she were in another life-threatening situation, her body would automatically enter the Avatar state, like when Zahir was poisoning her. Right now, that's the only way I think she can enter the Avatar state. I'm curious to see how many more episodes it's going to be before she actually fixes that problem. Number 3, Korra does Star Wars. Brian Konietzko is a huge Star Wars fan, so if you were getting Empire Strikes Back vibes from parts of the episode, it was intentional. During that New York Comic Con panel, whenever they were explaining Kuvira's army, they specifically said that some of the designs were based on Stormtroopers and G.I. Joes from the 1980s cartoon. Mike and Brian grew up in the 80s, like a lot of us, so just like every other person in the world at that time, they were influenced by those properties, so of course it's going to show up in Korra. But just to explain the Empire Strikes Back thing, I'm talking about Korra marching through the snow to the spirit portal looking for guidance. It just reminded me of Luke Skywalker on Hoth getting the vision of Obi-Wan, telling him to go to the swamps of Dagobah to learn from a very wise master of the Force. So eventually Korra follows one of the spirits to the Earth Kingdom swamps to find Toph, but she doesn't really realize it till it smacks her right in the face. I do kind of love that it becomes a literal metaphor, like Korra's past literally smacks her in the face. Number 2, Korra searches for Rava. The massive road trip she went on was just a lot of fun because we finally got to see the Fire Nation again. I mean, we saw it a little bit during Book 3 with Zuko, but we haven't really been there during Legend of Korra. And her running into the fish vendor with the portrait of Aang was probably one of the funniest moments on Korra in a while. I love that Mike and Brian leave Aang unchanged. Like, Aang still had that silly sense of humor even after he and Katara started their family. The Aang flashbacks in Book 1 made him seem like he was really serious, even though Toph still called him Twinkle Toes. That's why Milo is one of my favorite characters, just because he has so much of Aang in his sense of humor. And finally, my number 1 moment, of course, Melon Lord is back. Everyone let me know whenever they figured out the who part, whenever that spirit said, "I brought you here to find a who, not a what." Because of all the Empire Strikes Back stuff I've been thinking about, I kept wondering if Toph was going to be like a Yoda character living in a swamp. So when the spirit said, "I brought you here to find a who," I was like, yep, probably going to be Toph. Just in case you were wondering, the voice actress who was playing Toph was Felice Sampler. It just continues the tradition of them using different voice actors to do older versions of Last Airbender people. The real question now is, what has Toph been doing in that swamp all this time, and what is she going to do with Korra to help her reconnect with Raba? Toph is a really funny character, but if you remember, until she met Aang and Team Avatar, she lived a very solitary life. Like, she spent most of her time hanging out with the Badger Moles and prize fighting. All hail Melon Lord. Who else is hoping that we get like some sort of epic Toph bending moment? I mean, this is all about the Korra characters, like the new characters, but I'm really hoping we get like an original Team Avatar bending moment. Like maybe they'll let her smash up a bunch of the mechs or something like that. Let me know though, what was your favorite moment from the episode, and what do you think Toph has been doing in that swamp this whole time? Overall, I gave the episode a solid A just for going in a vastly different direction from the current series with this side story, and being able to pay homage to some really classic moments from Last Airbender. Mike and Brian are really good about trying new things with Korra characters, but they are always happy to do a little fan service whenever it's appropriate. They have said in interviews in the past that they do love to bring those Last Airbender characters back, but because episodes are only about 22 minutes each, they just don't have time to include everything they want. If Korra were like an hour-long show, or we got 22 episodes this season, you'd see more episodes like this, where we just follow a single character for an entire episode. Because so much stuff happened this week, I'll totally be doing a Q&A tomorrow, so be sure to leave all your questions and subscribe to get that video. And just to explain what they said during the New York Comic Con panel, Kuvira is the confirmed big bad of the season. They've spent a lot of time talking about the concept of the character and the inspiration for the new metal bending army. I feel like that was the most important thing they said. Like, there's not some shadowy figure that they're gonna whip out at the end of the season. I mean, Kuvira is the big bad. It's all in that New York Comic Con video. You can click here right now to watch it, and you can click here for my Korra episode 1 video. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's all high five and rewatch the episode. Twinkle toes.